Here's a box of cordless telephones. I picked this up from the Digitan Goodwill quite a while ago now, probably over a year ago even. And I believe what it is a box of store returns, and it seems to be at least mostly cordless phones. It's probably all just cheesy modern junk, but it was only a couple bucks. I figured it was worth a shot to see if maybe there's some good models in there. I'm hoping at least to get one or two decent spares I can take to work or something, because we use cordless phones in the office. But let's see what we got here. We have, looks like mostly Vtech. Several of these red ones, which I don't think I've ever used. And then a bunch of AT&T ones. Another red one. It looks like there might be only two different models here, which at the rate things are going could have been all the store even sold. Well, that's a little disappointing. There's only two different models here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those, and 5 of these. These red ones I know nothing about, never used the model. This one, we have a couple of these in the office. I think it's the one before this. The handset looks the same, but the base doesn't have the antenna or answer machine. So this one, there's a receipt on here. It says return original transaction. The reason is blank. Oh no, the reason is incorrect / missing. It's dated 6/17/20. So this was returned 4 years ago. And at that time, it looks like it cost $34.96. So I think these are all have all been opened at least. Let's see if any of them have been used. This one, the handset's still in the bag. That to me looks like it's never been used. Yeah, the battery, which I'm going to take out. And belt clip. Yeah, that looks totally unused. That looks like it's never been used. I'm going to say this one is new. I think this has never been used. It's got a wall mount bracket. Alright, so this looks like a good one. Unless it was defective in some way, I suppose that's a possibility, but looks like it's never been used. So we got one that should, in theory, probably be good. This one was returned on 3/10. So no, it was purchased on 3/10, and it was returned on 5/16/2020. So this was there for 2 months. Same. This one cost $34.96, whereas this one cost $34.92. Okay, so that one's missing the manual. This has the manual. Everything's still in plastic. This looks like it's never even been removed from the box. Yeah, I bet this one is 100% brand new. I'm going to set this one aside. We'll check that one out. This one says open/nothing wrong. The reason for return is damaged. That's ironic. This was purchased on 4/30, also 2020, and it was returned on 5/02. So within 2 days this was returned, and it cost $34.92. I don't know why that one cost a couple cents more. It's kind of weird. So this was definitely open and kind of haphazardly thrown back in the box. It was definitely plugged in at some point. The phone cord was kept and returned without it. I don't know what the deal was with that. Maybe the user just didn't like it or something. Who knows? But that was potentially questionable. These batteries have been sitting for 4 years. Those are not worth keeping at this point. Well, these are all from WalFart, and that's great. This one, the information is all screwed up, so we don't have the information on this one. This one's missing some of the packaging, and the phone has definitely been used. Not often, but definitely has some signs of use on it. That one's used. This one, the original purchase was on 5 something. And the return on 6/13. Return reason does not work. What the heck is there to not work? This was definitely used at some point. Looks like all the parts are there, except for the wall mount bracket. That's MIA. Battery's installed. I'm sure it's long spoiled. That one's allegedly defective. This one says something didn't ring. It says didn't work / wouldn't ring is what it says. I can't see the return date. Now I'm actually kind of curious now to go through these and see if this stuff is actually true. So it's packaged wrong, so it was definitely opened. Taped back shut and everything. This one says used, didn't like. Sure doesn't look used. Battery's not even in there. All the packaging's gone, but I bet that one's fine. This one says it was purchased on 6 6/03/20, and it was returned on 6/03/20. Reason for return: change mind. So I bet this one is probably never been opened. It's been opened, but doesn't look like it's ever been used or set up. Well, the battery's in there, so maybe it was. I bet this one is pretty much new. Alright, so we have at least one that appears to be solid. Likely several others as well. Alright, so these now run to the Vtech. This is the Vtech CS6919-16. And let's see if we can find out what this retailed for. $18.97. Return reason: defective. It was bought on 5/18 and returned on 5/26. So we got a wall bracket. It's kind of a weird shape. Flat and whatever. Full duplex speakerphone allegedly. It's got the clear buttons like the Digitan 1580 did, so that's a good design. We do have a battery. This is, what was the date on it? This is also 2020. Yeah. So I guess this is getting to be an old model now. Wall mount bracket. Yeah, for whatever it's worth, this is probably a halfway decent phone. From what I can tell, a lot of the Vtech stuff is still fairly reasonable. Return reason: does not work. Isn't that what this one said too? Defective. This was purchased on 6/20 and returned on 6/21. This was, it was not a... This is kind of confusing. It says refund and exchange on the same document. I don't know what that means. This has definitely been used. Looks like it's been used a fair bit, so there's no battery in there. Maybe that's why it doesn't work. Can you imagine that? Returning a cordless phone claiming it doesn't work because you didn't put the stupid battery in? It's got to have happened. This one does not have a receipt attached to it. This one looks like it's new. Everything seems to be in the original packaging and the original position. So we'll take this one and this one. We'll use those to do our checkouts on this model. This one's definitely been used. And this one, it says won't stay charged. And this was purchased on 5/21 and returned on 6/21. So allegedly this one failed within a month. This one was purchased on 5/29 and returned on 6/15, and the reason for the return is damage. Let's see what kind of damage there is here. And there's some wear, but I don't see any damage. I don't know, that might be cap. Well, whatever. So we've got only 2 different models here, which is a little disappointing, but looks like we have 2 that should be, one of each that should be pretty good. And then it's quite possible that several of these others are also just fine and were only returned for the sake of user error.